Hello. Hello, everybody. Fabi here from Fabi English. How are you all? Just giving a few minutes for people to arrive for the live. Okay, today we're going to talk about reading. All right, we're going to talk about reading today. Okay, so let me just organize this thing. It's a little bit in my face. All right, I think that's good now. All right. Okay. So just to start, you can write in the comments there. Where are you watching this from? I always like to know where you're watching this from, guys. Always, always, always. And just so you know, we're also live on YouTube. Okay. And if you watch this on YouTube, okay, we have more real estate. So on Instagram, you guys see me here. On YouTube, you guys see me here. Okay. Someone from Mexico. Cool. Colombia. Nice. Mexico, Colombia, what other countries? I'm speaking from Brisbane, Australia. Okay, so we have Mexico, Colombia. Nice. Brisbane. Cool. Nice. All right. So someone from Brisbane. Nice. All right, cool. So we're gonna do today is we're gonna talk about reading. Okay, but before, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Fabi. Okay, and I help people get this card they need on the IELTS test and the test only once. I'm here in Brisbane, Australia, and here I teach English at universities and colleges. All right, and welcome to IELTS Journey with Fabi, okay, where we talk about everything and anything IELTS, okay, anything and everything to help you get the score you need. And as usual, if you have any questions, pop the questions in the comments, okay? Sometimes I miss the questions, okay, guys? So I go to the questions at the end, all right? If I miss your question by any chance, all right, okay? So today the topic is reading, but not just reading. Okay, so today we're going to talk about some strategies to improve your reading speed. Okay, so for those of you watching, who thinks that 1 hour is not enough time to finish the reading test? Can you put in the chat? Me. Okay, so yeah, guys, so lots of people think that is a little bit, is not enough time, okay, to finish the reading in 1 hour. All right. So today we're going to talk a little bit about that. Okay. So I'm just going to write here reading. Okay. Just so we know. Let me see. Where can I write? Let me just check so people on Instagram can see it too. So today we're going to talk about reading. Okay. Can you read? No, you can read at all. Yes, guys, on YouTube is much easier to read, to read, okay? So we're gonna talk about reading today, time management. Oh, someone just sent me a smiley face. Like this. I think it's Linda. Is that Linda? How's your reading going, Linda? Okay, guys. So if you want to head to Fabi English on YouTube, okay, I'm also live there. All right, cool. So let's get started and pop any questions you have about reading. Okay, guys. So, yeah, this is Linda. How are you, Linda? All right. Linda, are you in Canada or in Mexico at the moment? I never know where Linda is because she keeps going Mexico and Canada. All right, cool. So let's get started. Okay, so I don't know if you noticed, okay, but nowadays, reading has been a big problem for lots of people. Oh yeah, sorry. So Linda is in Canada for Christmas. So you're gonna have a white Christmas. That's so cool. Is it cold there? Brisbane today will be 36 degrees. Too hot, man. Too hot. Way too hot. If because it's so hot, you just feel like staying in. You don't want to go out. You want to stay in the air conditioning. Okay. You don't want to go out at all. All right, cool. So as I was saying, so nowadays, lots of people have been having problems with the reading, okay? And one of the reasons I think is that people don't read as much anymore. And if we think about the IELTS test, the last part of the test, it doesn't matter if you're doing academic or general, the reading is quite long, right? So lots of people, they haven't been managing to read long texts anymore. Okay, so I think that's one of the biggest problems that people are facing at the moment. Okay, so guys, so if you're struggling with reading, maybe the first thing you could do is actually you could start reading more things. Okay, and I'm not gonna say read a book. Okay, just read anything in English. Okay, so that can start helping you already. Okay, so that's one of my main tips. Okay, if you have been struggling with reading. Okay, and so yeah, so it's a big problem, but I think that's one of the main reasons because people haven't been reading that much anymore. Okay, if you're doing the reading general, you have shorter texts, but that doesn't mean that you're still able to understand everything that you need to understand. Okay, so my advice would be start reading a few things. Okay, then um but again, let's go down again to the IELTS test. Okay, so sometimes reading is not really the problem for you, right? Sometimes some people have problem with reading. They say, "Oh, I don't read well in my language, so I'm not going. Don't. I'm not going to read well in English." Okay, but some people they are not that bad, but they tell me, Fabi, if I had 1 hour and 15 minutes, I would get a 7. But because I have only 1 hour, I'm getting a 6 or I'm getting a 5. Okay. So today I'm just going to tell you a few things that I've told my students, okay, that they can do to read faster. Okay. There are actually tons of things you can try. Okay, guys. So the strategies and the things you can do to read faster uh there's too many of them. Okay, but I will be dealing with some of them today. Okay, and as I always say, guys, so the tips and strategies I share with you, okay, they are strategies that have been working with my students, so they have tried it and it worked for them. So what do you do with the information I'm going to share with you today? Try it. If it doesn't work for you, okay, then change your strategy. Okay, my advice is always, if you're trying a new strategy, maybe you can try it 2 or 3 times until you say, hey, no, it's not for me. Okay, so my advice would be give it a go and see if it works for you. Okay, just this morning I was helping a student, and yeah, and with her I told her some strategies, they didn't quite work, and then we created a new strategy just to suit her. Okay, and it has been helping her, so that's pretty good. Okay, so whatever I share with you here today, give it a go. Let me know, of course, because I always like to know if the strategies I'm sharing with you are working. Okay. So yes, just give it a go and see how you go. All right. So let's get started. Okay. So again, one of the main reasons why people can't um, get a high score or the score they need in readings because the time pressure. Okay, so we have to go ahead and try to see what we can do in 1 hour. All right, so maybe if you really want to know your score, okay, your real score for the IELTS reading part, doesn't matter if you're doing academic or general, you should be trying to do the test in 1 hour. Okay, if you do the test in 1 hour and 10 minutes, that's not your real score. Okay, so if you really want to know, if I were to do the test today, what score would I get? That's the score. You have to do it in 1 hour. All right, guys, so that's a first. However, sometimes when we are practicing new strategies, like today, I'm going to share lots of new strategies with you. Maybe you can give yourself a little bit longer because you are trying a new strategy. Okay, so if you're thinking about applying the strategies I'm going to share with you today, okay, you can get a test and maybe you can do the test in 1 hour and a little bit more. All right, so maybe we can try that. Okay, so that's something to bear in mind. Okay, if we have new strategies, okay, maybe it's gonna take us a little bit longer, and you should give yourself a little bit longer too. Okay, so let's keep this in mind. Okay, so first thing I'm going to tell you, you should know the types of questions for the reading part that are the hardest ones for you. Okay, this is one tip. And then you say, Fabi, what's the connection between questions that are hard and time management? Does anybody know what the connection is? You can write it in the comments if you know. So, my question is, what is the connection between questions that are difficult for you and time management? Does anybody know? People on YouTube or people on Instagram? Do you know? Nobody knows? Okay, I'll give you the answer. The reason you should know which type of questions are the hardest ones for you is because the types of questions that are hard for you will probably take most of your time. Okay. So, who likes yes, no, not given? Okay, no one's is gonna put their hand up. Okay, who hates yes, no, not given? Just say me, or maybe put an angry face in the comments. Okay, guys. So, who hates true, false, not given? So, true, false, not given can be tricky. Okay, sometimes difficult to understand. So, if you see that question, that type of question, let's say you have 5 of them that you have to answer. What's going to happen? Okay, some people are laughing. Okay, that's a nice approach. Okay, so one thing that's going to happen is you are going to take longer there. Okay, so you are going to take longer. That's a fact. Okay, guys. So if you see a true, false, not given, and you know you're not very good at it, it will take you longer. Okay, so knowing which ones will take you longer, it's a great way to prepare for time management. Why is that? Because how many of you get stressed if it takes you a little bit longer to answer the questions? Again, hands up. Okay, guys. So, how many of you? So, you see the question and then it takes you longer. I was talking to one of my students this morning. She said, "Oh my God, I'm trying to answer the questions. And then when I see the timer, I get stressed and I can't do anything anymore." Okay. Just because, it's taking you longer. Okay. And someone said multiple answers. Okay. Multiple answers. I agree. I'm not a big fan of the no, actually, I don't mind the multiple answers. Actually, do you mean multiple answers, multiple choice, or that one that you have? Sometimes they say, I don't know, choose 5, and then you have a list. Is this one, Marcelo? Is this the one you're talking about, Marcelo? Is this the one? Because, yeah, okay. Okay, Marcelo, I don't know if this is the one you're talking about, but I'm going to give you a little trick, okay? That will probably save you time. Okay, guys. So just one extra tip here, okay? So when it comes to those questions, okay, where they have a sentence, they say choose 5, and then there's a list maybe of 8 that you have to choose from in reading. Usually the answer is in one paragraph of the text, maybe 2. Okay. So, Marcelo, if that's the one you're talking about, okay, if that's the one you're talking about, you will find that it might take you a while maybe to find where the answer is. However, all the answers that you need, all the information that you need is right there in one paragraph or 2 paragraphs. So this one can be tricky, but when it comes to time, I think this one is quick because it's very easy to find because you know exactly where the answers are. Where the information for your answers are. Okay, is actually information is uncountable. Where the information is. All right. So think about that. Okay. Think about that. That's one trick. Okay. To save you time. Okay. All right. Okay. So going back a little bit. So we're talking about so finding out which questions are the hardest ones for you. Okay. Is actually a way to help you with time management. If you are the kind of person that when it's taking you a little bit longer to answer a question, you look at the clock and you freak out, Okay, before you start answering a question, you should think about it. Okay, this one, oh my God, this one is so hard. It's going to take me longer, and that's all right. Okay, so I feel that with this approach, we are actually working with time management and also anxiety, okay, and stress. If we do this, okay, so it's always a good idea to know, guys, which questions are easy for you, which questions are hard for you. Okay, so that's one thing that we can do. Okay, we know that if a type of question is harder for you, it's going to take you longer. Okay, and then you have the option, right? You could skip that and go to the easy one. Okay, or when you get stuck, yeah, guys, if you get stuck, just move on. Okay, all right, because that's something I wanted to share. Okay, so something else that might look like it takes longer, but it actually doesn't. It helps you a lot is reading the text before you read the questions. There's a big debate. Okay, it's kind of personal. All right, but I have been finding that people who read the text first, okay, people who read the text first, they tend to get more points correct. Okay, so Marcelo said something. Oh, when there are two correct answers, but you need to choose the best, and both seem correct. Okay, so you are talking about multiple choice, right? So usually on the in the IELTS test, the multiple choice, you have like a sentence or a question and four options, and I agree with you. Okay, sometimes two seem correct, and you go to the text, and wow, both sentences, you can find the information there. So they talk about what color is the car, and they say they have black and red, two options, and they have black and red in the text. The best way to know which one is the right one is check the question again, because sometimes you're going to have question, four options, and you think C and D are correct because both of them are in the text. Which one is the right one? The one that will answer the question that is being asked. That's the biggest advice I'll give you. Okay, guys, just think about that. And that's something quick. This is a time saver, huh? Oh, I don't know which one it is. Go back to the text. Maybe you should be going back to the question. Okay, guys. So that would be something to think about. All right. Okay, you're welcome. Okay, cool. So going back to the fact that from my experience, to me, it is much, much better to read the text first and the question after. Okay, so I think that will also help you save some time. Okay, it doesn't look like it because people say, oh, but Fabi, it takes me a long time to read the text. Okay, but again, guys, you're not reading the text, you're having a look to get some information. That's it, that's all you're doing. Okay, guys, so that shouldn't be taking you more than 5 minutes. If it's taking you more than 5 minutes, you are doing it wrong. Okay, maybe we can talk about skimming at some point. I'm not going to talk about skimming today. Okay, I'm not going to talk about skimming because I think that's a whole life. We can talk about skimming for hours. Okay, so we're not going to talk about that today. But skimming, yes, it is a strategy that you can use. Okay, but I'm not going to talk about this today. Okay, if you would like me to talk about skimming, maybe you can send me DM later. Okay, and then we can talk about that. Okay, so one thing that will definitely help you with time management is reading the text first. Okay, guys, reading the text first. Okay, then that takes me to the next one. So, reading the text first will help you save time. But Fabi, the text is too long, it's going to take me longer. No, because you are not going to read the full text. Okay, we are going to focus on some key ideas, and we will read and think about it. Wow, this paragraph is about this. The first paragraph's about this, second paragraph's about that. That's all you need to know. You don't have to know the details. When are you going to know the details? When you're going to focus on the details? When you have to answer the questions. That's it. Okay, guys? That's it. So, reading the text first will help you save time. But if you read everything, you are going to waste time. You just need to read enough so you know what you have to talk about. Okay? Oh, wow. Okay. It happened again. Every time I go like this on Instagram, thumbs up bubble appears. Go away. It did. All right, cool. Next thing I would like to tell you. Okay, so another time management. Okay, one more time management thing. So it doesn't matter if you're going to do the academic or the reading, the academic or the general test, okay? Because as you know, the academic reading is different from the general reading, okay? It doesn't matter which one you're going to do. Section 3 or passage 3, the third text, is harder than the rest. If you're doing general, it's crazy hard compared to section 1 and section 2. If you're doing general, it's slightly harder. They tend to be how can I say, more academic than the other texts, okay? So, one time management thing is, why don't you try to spend 15 minutes in section 1 or passage 1, 20 minutes in section 2 or passage 2, and then how much time you have left? 25 for section 3 or passage 3. Write in the comments. Do you think it's going to help you guys? I sure it will, because we need more time to the things that are slightly harder, right? So if we, and again, section 1 and passage 1, they tend to be quite simple, really straightforward. So the suggested time, because you have 60 minutes to do the full test, right? 3 parts, so 20, 20, 20. Maybe if you do 15, 20, 25, that will help you. Okay, but how do you know this will work for you? Practice. Okay, guys. So as soon as we finish this live today, grab a reading test. Okay, doesn't matter if it's academic or general, and try just to do section 1 in 15 minutes. See what you can do in 15 minutes. Then section 2 in 20, and then section 3 in 25. But don't try like to do the full test and check if that works for you. I do believe we should do just section 1 or just passage 1 in 15. Pause, stop, check your answers. Okay, and then you do just section 2. Okay, pause, check your answers. Okay, so yeah, so Linda wrote 15, 20, 25. Perfect, Linda. That's what you should be aiming at, guys. Okay, I think that's 100% what you should be doing. All right. Okay, 100%. So you will be surprised at how much time you can save if you do that here. Lots and lots of time. Okay, because you know that, of course, but again, guys, it's important that you are able to manage to do, section 1 or passage 1 in 15 minutes. If you can't, then it's not really going to work for you. Okay, but try, give it a go and see how you feel. Okay, make sure you send me a message. Okay, when you after you practice this, make sure you send me a message. Okay, guys, cool. Okay, then the next tip is, okay, spending too much time on questions that you can find the answer for. How many of you can't find the answer for a question, and then you go question 15? You're there. Where's the answer? Where's the answer? Where's the answer? Where's the answer? 5 minutes later, you're still in question 15. Guys, it sounds silly, but you have no idea of how many people spend time on these questions, and then they don't have time to finish the test. So, what should you do if you get stuck? What is something that you should be doing? Skip it. Go to the next. Go to the next question. And it's interesting how you're probably thinking, oh, Fabi, that's obvious. But guys, when we're doing the test, we are so eager to answer and we feel so bad when we don't that we forget that it's okay to skip. Okay. Actually, if you are going to do the test on the computer or if you have done the test on the computer, at the bottom of the screen, you will have all of the questions, right? All the numbers. And if you go to these numbers and you put the cursor over it, and I think you go left click, you have the option of choosing, I think, is review, revise, something. I can't remember what it is exactly, but I know that it changes color. So you know you can actually go back to that question later. Okay. So this is actually a great strategy. So if you get stuck, it's not that you're not going to be able to answer, guys. You can go back later. Again, this morning I was helping a student with reading, and then she said, "Look, I got stuck, and then I went to the next one, and actually answering the next one helped me answer the first one." Now imagine how much time you saved there. Okay, just because you skipped and then you went to the next one and then you went back. Oh yeah, that's the answer. Oh, I'm looking for the answer for number 2, but actually I just found the answer for number 1 while I'm looking for the answer for number 2. How cool is that? All right, guys. So yeah, so if you get stuck, move on. Okay, just make sure you move on. Okay, 100%, guys, 100%. Okay, all right. So lots of people have arrived just about now. Okay, so we're talking about reading today, guys. So if you have any questions, pop them in the comments. Okay, we're also live on YouTube. So if you want to head to YouTube, Fabi English on YouTube. Okay, so if you want to head there, you can watch there too. All right. Okay, so if you have any questions about reading, just pop the questions in there. Okay, so I'm just gonna revise what we talked about today. Okay, so today we're talking about how can we save time, okay, when we're doing the reading test, because maybe the reading test is not that hard. The main problem is we only have 60 minutes to do it. 1 hour, okay? If we had an hour and a half, everyone would be getting a 9, right? But we don't. We have 60 minutes, so we have to manage, okay, guys? So sometimes it's not that your reading is bad. It's just that the time pressure that can be a problem, okay? So we have to find ways around this time pressure, okay? So one of the first thing that I said to you, okay, is knowing which questions are difficult for you. Why? Because when we see a question that is difficult for us to answer, will probably take longer. All right, we will take longer. So knowing that in advance, okay, we don't run the risk of actually trying to answer something and then we look at the time and we freak out because we've been spending too much time on it. Okay, so that's something that you guys have to do if you want to get a high score on the IELTS test. Okay, first thing. Second thing, read the text first. Okay, don't go to the questions first, read the text first. From my experience, okay, students getting high scores, they go to the text, they read the text, then they go to the questions. All right, that's something else you can do. Okay, however, this strategy will only work if you don't read the full text. Just read details. Okay, no, sorry, not details. Just read some ideas. Okay, what I suggest, first sentence, second sentence of the paragraph, just so you know what it is about. Okay, just so you know what it is about and you know what the main idea is of each paragraph. That will help you get the answers quicker. Okay, then one strategy that you can try is try to spend 15 minutes in the first part, 20 minutes in the second part, 25 minutes in the third part. Okay, like Linda wrote there, 15, 20, 25. Because we are likely to spend more time in the last part because the last part is harder. Okay, so if we keep this in mind, okay, guys, and we manage to know that we can do the first part in 15 minutes, we are confident. And then we know that we have more time to do the hardest one. And I do feel that this will also help you with your anxiety. If you are the kind of person that you're doing quite well, reading, blah, 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 answering the question, and look at the clock, you're like, oh my God, and you freak out. Okay. So that will help you with that too. Okay. And my last tip, which sounds obvious, but lots of people make this mistake, is spending too much time on the questions that you think are hard. Okay, guys, so that can be a big, big problem. Okay, like I said before, if you don't know the answer for one question, okay, go to the next one. Maybe going to the next one will actually help you answer the one that you thought was so complicated. All right? Okay? How you feeling, guys? Let me know in the comments. Any questions about reading? Any more questions? It's so hot here in Brisbane today. Oh my God. What's the temperature now? 32 degrees. Ouch. Any more questions, guys? No more questions? If you don't have guys, I'm going to go. Great. Thank you. Someone said great. Excellent tips. Thanks. You're very welcome. Very welcome, guys. Yeah. And yeah. So, guys, maybe this is the kind of live that you have to watch again. And if you didn't take notes, okay, you should take some notes. So, the best place to go and look for this now is YouTube. So, Fabi English on YouTube, I think would be the easiest way. Okay. But remember, this is under lives, not under videos, because it's a live. Okay. So, you go to my YouTube channel and you go lives. All right. Good, good. Okay. So, I'm going to head out. Okay, if you have any final questions, you can always ask me later. Okay, you can leave a comment here or you can just send me a message or an email. Okay, my email is fabi@fabienglish.com. Okay, so Tuesday, Brisbane time, Tuesday, we are back. Okay, guys, we'll be back here. All right. Okie dokie. All right. Someone said best teacher. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. I'm glad I can help. Okay. Thank you. Happy holidays. Happy holidays to you too, Linda. Okay. You're welcome. You're welcome, guys. You're very welcome. Lots of thank yous. That's awesome. All right. Okay. So I'm going to head out. Okay. If you need anything, send me a message. All right. Okay. See you. Bye bye.